Good afternoon everyone, welcome to my kitchen. For those of you that are new, my name's Janice and I'm a Thermomix consultant. Today I am making some chili sauce. We love chili sauce in our family, and I make regular chili sauce, I love sweet chili sauces. So I make regular sweet chili sauce, tomato sweet chili sauce, strawberry sweet chili sauce, and today I'm going to use the strawberry sweet chili sauce recipe. Now these are my own recipes, and the strawberry sweet chili sauce is on the recipe community. The tomato sweet chili sauce I've actually added to my cookie dough as a created recipe. I haven't done this one yet, but I'm going to. But today I'm going to take the strawberry sweet chili sauce and I'm going to use mango instead. So I'm just going to do a single batch because I haven't done it before, but I've got there's a fair bit of ice on them. Chunks of mangoes that I want to use up. And if this is nice, I'm going to make the rest of it into the mango sweet chili sauce. But this is something I've been going to try and just haven't got to it because we rarely have mango left over. And this is just a single bag that I found when I was tidying up my freezer. So let's jump in. Manual mode, we're going to do this in manual mode. So on my TM7 we've got my week, and then we've got the modes, like you can pick your 4 favourite modes, and this is the default setting. I haven't changed it yet because so far it's been pretty perfect. So manual. Now something's touching somewhere. Okay. Rightio. Oops, hang on, let's go back to scales. So, and we're going to add all the ingredients into the mixing bowl. And then we're going to chop it. So first of all, we've got, it says 250 grams of strawberries, washed and hulled. So I'm going to leave most of the ice in the sink. I'm going to leave most of the ice in there. I don't think that really matters. I've picked lots of ice chunks out. 250 grams of, my recipe says strawberries, but I'm using mangoes, and I have a clean, dry mixing bowl. Okay. 249, not bad. Oh, 100 grams of chilies, and I have de-seeded them. I'm taking the seeds in the membrane out. Oh, I didn't tear it. So it was 250, now it's 359. So that was right because it was just a little bit over 100 grams. We've got 20 grams of garlic. So that's just a little, and this is already minced, and this is already minced, and this is ginger, 20 grams of ginger, and it's not. That's fit. Both of them are 15 grams. 550 grams of white vinegar. Now when you're making your chili sauce, you can use whatever vinegar you want. You can use white wine vinegar, you can use apple cider vinegar. I like plain white vinegar because it doesn't overpower anything too much. So, but this would be quite nice with especially apple cider vinegar. 550 grams. Okay. 500 grams of sugar. I'm just using regular white sugar. once again, it's to your taste. If you wanted to use raw sugar, there would be no reason why not. Okay, a teaspoon of salt. And that's it. That's all the ingredients measured in. And yeah, that's all the ingredients we're going to put in this, if that makes sense. And then we're going to cross out, and now we're going to chop it for 20 seconds on speed 7. So 20 seconds. There's 20 seconds on speed. Right. So I find that putting all the ingredients in before you chop it gives you a better, more even chop on your chilies. Oh, that does smell good. I don't know if you can see that. If you see all the little red flecks. Oh, there we go, up the side. It gives you a nice, even chop. Otherwise, if you try and just chop them on their own when they're been frozen, they're a bit limp and they tend to stick to the side, and half them don't chop properly. So if I put all the ingredients in and then did it, I find that they chop better. So, and the garlic and the ginger, that works for that too, but that was already chopped and frozen, but I put frozen blobs of garlic and ginger in. And now we're going to cook for 30 minutes. So this is minutes, seconds. So 30 minutes, 100 degrees, so that's the temperature, on 2.5. So when it says to put the basket on top instead of the measuring cup, but we're not doing that anymore, we're just leaving that on. And we're going to cook for 30 minutes at 100 degrees, and then we'll come back and we'll do another 30 minutes at 110 degrees. So I'll be back in half an hour. So that's the first half an hour done, and I'm going to take the lid off and we're going to have a look. And you can see how watery that is. So now our next 30 minutes should reduce it down a bit. Reduce it down a bit. If when we've finished, if it's still a little bit runny, you want it so that when you dip a spoon in, it gives a nice, like it doesn't just all run off. You get some sticking to the spoon. So rightio, we're going to give that. It's quite spicy. Another half hour, 30 minutes, and we're going to go 110. Speed 2.5. I know. So I'll leave that again and I'll be back and we'll have a look and see how thick it is. Righto, I don't know if you can see that. So within a few seconds of putting it on 100, I've turned it back to 105, but it hasn't settled yet. It's bubbling right up into the, into the lid. Rightio. So that's I don't know, you probably can't see it. You can see the bubbling. So I'm going to turn it back to 100. because we don't want it quite that hot. Rightio, I'm going to see what happens if I take this lid off. Oops, that's warm. Oh, hot. Okay, I'm going to take that lid off and I'm going to try it on 110. Because you know how it said to take the lid off and put the simmering basket on? It just might need us to take the lid off. No, look, it's going to come up. And so that's what it's doing. Oops, I've turned that back to 100. And we'll do 105. But otherwise, this recipe might have to be cooked at 100 the whole way. Just might be the different temperature for the mango. Okay, that's 105 now. No. Let's go back to the 100. Alright. We'll do the next 30 minutes at 100 degrees. Rightio, I'll be back when the half hour's up. So we've still got nearly 26 minutes to go. Rightio, so our second 30 minutes is nearly up. And I've finished that 30 minutes without the lid on. So now I'm going to have a look and I want to see if this is thick enough or if I need to cook it for another 10 minutes. So I'm going to give this a scrape down. It does smell very nice. You've got to be, I mean, when you get something that's sort of full of chilli and vinegar, it's very sharp on your nose, so you've just got to let it sort of waft. You don't lean over and take a really big sniff. Otherwise your eyes will be watering. That was my lid. Okay. Now, what I'm looking at is that is actually holding, and it is holding a coating, but I would probably like it to be just a tiny bit thicker. It's very hard to show someone on a video. I mean, if you're making jam and you put some on a cold saucer and run your finger through it, you want it thicker than you want a chili sauce. So when you run your finger through it, it will leave a path and it won't fill in. I mean, whereas this, it is going to, with your marmalades, if you put some in the cold saucer and you push it, there'll be if it's set, there'll be a skin formed already and it will wrinkle. And that's how you tell that your marmalade's set. So rightio. Let us give this another 10 minutes. And I'm not sure if the fact that it was boiling over has got anything to do with the mango. I'm actually wondering if it's to do with the different Thermomix, because this is the first time I've made chili sauce in the TM7. So I am going to make some tomato chili sauce because I'm nearly out and my son-in-law loves it, so I will give him some as well. So I'm going to make a couple of batches of the tomato chili sauce. I've got everything to do it. The tomatoes I have washed, halved and put in the freezer, and then when I pull them out to defrost, the skins will just slide off, because I don't love tomato skins in my chili sauce, because I don't like, they get that real hard, stringy, like little curls, and I don't love that. So we do peel our tomatoes to make tomato chili sauce. So I'm going to give it an additional 10 minutes, and I am going to do it at 100 degrees on speed 2.5. And then we'll be back and we'll have a look. I've got these bottles to put it in. It takes, this usually makes just a little bit over 2 bottles. So these bottles are 250 ml. So I usually get like a bit over 2 bottles. So that's finished cooking. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that to cool for 10 minutes before I put it in the bottles. Like I'll check that, but I don't really want to cook it anymore. That was so close to being thick enough. Anyway, we'll let it cool down so I can use the timer. We want 10 minutes. And then we'll put it in these bottles. So it's bottled, and I said with such confidence that it makes 2.5 bottles, but it actually makes 3.5. It's a while since I've made this, so it's still hot, so it will thicken up more as it cools down. Now I'm going to, I'd like you to be able to see, maybe through the glass you'll be able to see the little flecks of. Now this is, the one thing I didn't say is the recipe calls for 50 grams of chilies, and I put 100 in because I wanted this a little bit spicier. So if you want to change the amount of chilies, change the heat, you can. But this is quite spicy, so I'm going to give it a taste. It's I haven't got anything to dip it in. I did have a bit of a look, but yeah, I haven't even got a Jats cracker. So rightio. That is really nice. The same with the tomato chili sauce, the strawberry chili sauce, the mango chili sauce. They're all very distinctly chili sauce. They're all a sweet chili sauce. The different fruits just give them a slightly different flavour. Now that is delicious. So if you want to make sweet chili sauce, it depends on what you've got lots of. I mean, if you live where there's mangoes, make the mango sweet chili sauce. If where you are there's more tomatoes than you can poke a stick at, make the tomato one, or strawberries. The strawberries is a little bit different, but absolutely delicious. I mean, and I've got a family who are very, they'll eat them all, but they love one in particular. So anyway, this is a new one to introduce to them, and I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on, when I make chili sauces, on the TM7 because the bowl's the same size, it shouldn't be boiling over. So I want to know if it's because of the mangoes or because of the Thermomix. that this is boiling over, because I've been making that recipe for ages and it hasn't boiled over. Rightio, mango sweet chili sauce. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please give it a thumbs up, pop over to my channel and subscribe, and I really hope I'll see you next time.